Started here. I am recording this webinar, so if anyone would like a copy of this presentation, we will be sending it automatically after the presentation today in an email along with everybody's contact information. So a quick summary of all the different companies that are joining us today. We're joined by Acumatica, and if you don't know Acumatica, it's an enterprise resource planning system, and it's a pure cloud solution and mobile ready with a unique all-inclusive user license model, enabling a complete real-time view of your business anywhere, anytime. Through our worldwide network of partners, Acumatica ERP provides the full suite of integrated business management applications, including financials, distribution, manufacturing, project accounting, and CRM. They are the only one true cloud ERP platform designed for mid-sized customers. And I'd like to just let Dawn elaborate a little bit about Acumatica.
Well, I think that does a good job of positioning the product as a true written for the cloud, no legacy ERP solution. What I would like to mention for the audience is that we've got a very, very sound and well-embraced partner program as well. So we really believe in true partnership. We don't sell anything direct. We sell everything exclusively through our partners. We have a very vibrant community of ISVs, like you'll see from the next three people that will be speaking briefly. We also don't believe in artificial fees, so for really well-qualified partners, there's no fee to join the program, there's no annual fee. We love to have our partners really well trained as well, so we offer all of the training online free of charge. And I think for anybody that's looking for a new vendor to work with to address mid-market customers, Acumatica would be a fabulous choice, and I'd welcome the opportunity to talk with any of you. So with that, back to you, Adrian.
Awesome. And so we also have American Payment Solutions. And American Payment Solutions is an endorsed merchant solutions provider for a lot of those restaurants out there, hospitality and software companies. But they are a market leader for ERP integration as well. And they're a leading provider for Acumatica integration. They're a full-service merchant services provider. And so they work with lots and lots of small, medium, and large organizations. And if you were at the Acumatica show, you would have seen that they were in booth 25. So the Acumatica Summit was recently, and all these three providers were at the summit just demonstrating their products, and today we're going to show you how they work together. Scanco is a leader in warehouse management applications for the mid-market since 1989, and they were in booth number 24 at the Acumatica Summit. They were showing their WMS application on their iOS and Android Windows devices. And StarShip is a market-leading shipping automation software company, and they have been working since 1989 with ERP integrations, and they have very strong relationships with UPS, FedEx, and a lot of many of the other carrier solutions out there. They support a wide range of carriers, small parcel, regional, LTL. And they launched their Acumatica integration in 2016. And as I mentioned, they have a long list of mid-market ERP integrations, Sage, Microsoft Dynamics, Epicor, all the leading ERP solutions. And they were in booth number 33 if you got a chance to visit them at the show. And today we're going to show how we can automate the order processing with the credit card processing, pick, pack, and ship. So the order comes into Acumatica, and it can automatically be charged to a credit card at the time of the order, and then it's sent over into Scanco for picking and packing, and for automating that picking and packing process with the iOS, Windows, Android devices in the warehouse. All the information goes back into Acumatica, where StarShip pulls the order information and will optimize which carrier is selected based on all the criteria of the order, the dimensional weight, the location of the customer, so that the cost is so that it can streamline the costs automatically with how the order is shipped, and the tracking number and everything associated with the shipment will go back into Acumatica so that the customer service people or the if there's an e-commerce interface, the customer can see all the details of the shipment on their order. And then if at that time, if the workflow was appropriate, then American Payment Solutions can automatically charge the credit card because accounts receivable has been updated, and then that order is shipped out. So I'm going to go ahead and hand it over to Patty Benitez with American Payment Solutions, and she's going to show how an order is processed with their credit card processing solution.
Thank you, Adrienne, for a wonderful introduction, and thank you, everyone, for giving us the time this afternoon. We really do appreciate that you're giving us the opportunity to show you our solutions and the seamless integration between each one of our solutions with Acumatica. American Payment Solutions has been in business for over 25 years. As Adrienne mentioned, we are a full-service merchant provider. We offer our own gateway. Our solution was written and formatted for Acumatica. We also follow Acumatica's guidelines as far as being fully 100% partner-centric. We truly value the knowledge and the ideas that our channel partners bring to the table, and we make sure that we also offer the training, the test systems, assistance with support, etc., at absolutely no charge to our partners. I'd like to set a quick foundation before I show you exactly where it is that we would set up a credit card within Acumatica, mainly because one of the most asked questions at the Acumatica Summit had to do with why American Payment Solutions versus Authorized.net. And here's the reasons why. I'd just like to show you a quick slide that will explain it. As you can see, for those that are using Authorized.net, you would have a separate gateway provider, merchants, and software provider, bringing you to the question of who exactly will fix what and who actually tests the updates, etc. With American Payment Solutions, you have all-in-one. And not only that, the fact that you would have all-in-one would also allow you to take advantage of level 3 processing, which is another one of the questions that I received multiple times while at the Acumatica Summit. What exactly is level 3 processing? Just so you know, it's a program that Visa and MasterCard offer to merchants who process business-to-business or business-to-government transactions within the continental U.S. Now, I purposely left the notes at the bottom because you can see level 3 transactions will typically cost a merchant 0.50 to 1.5% less than level 1 or level 2. Now, there is a requirement that Visa and MasterCard have, actually 13 to 16 requirements that you see on the screen right now. Anytime you would like to obtain the lower rates from Visa and MasterCard, you actually have to provide Visa and MasterCard with the 13 or 16 fields that are listed on the right side, on the left side with the points here at the right side. So needless to say, most people do not want to deal with having to key in all of this information in order to obtain the lower rates. The rate can go down from 2.85 to 1.5 or 0.05%, depending on the volume of the transaction. If it is $10,000 or more, the rate can actually go down to 0.5%. And a quick idea for you would be that we've seen customers who have saved over $100,000 a year simply by processing through level 3. And as far as the end user is concerned, they have to do absolutely nothing different. Okay, so as you can see, I am within Acumatica right now under Finance, Accounts Receivable, and Customer Payment Methods. I chose a customer specifically to show you how the credit card information is stored. You can see that even though I entered a complete card number, it's actually tokenized so that you're not able to see the number here anymore, but you are able to see the last 4 digits of the credit card information. This will allow you to take advantage of PCI compliance. You won't have to worry about that because we will worry about it for you. Our company has an internal team that is dedicated exclusively to PCI compliance. There is no additional fee for that. We do not use a third-party product as some other processors do. Our solution is also free of charge. We do not charge for installation, implementation, training, or support. And this is how easy it is to set up as many credit cards per customer as you need. So you can see I have several set up for a bartender here. And all of these credit cards can be taken advantage of while at the sales order. But before I show you a sales order, I'd like to hand it over to Cody so that Cody can actually go through the scanning solution, his scanning solution, and show you how well Scanco is integrated with Acumatica, and also show you a lot of the fields that were in the level 3 list, how we take advantage of them, and they're actually coming from the Scanco solution. And this is, I'm handing it over to you, Cody.
Perfect. I definitely appreciate it, Patty. And I want to start off thanking Adrian once again for hosting the webinar, and also I want to thank everyone that was at Acumatica Summit a few weeks ago that we were able to meet with and take through our product, as well as meeting a lot of new faces and partners. It was a great time out in San Diego. So what you're seeing here is Scanco Warehouse for Acumatica. And Scanco Warehouse is, for many years, been the leading WMS in the mid-market industry for direct integrations into ERP systems. And where we really stand out from a lot of the other solutions that you may be looking at is, number one, the technology. We are on iOS and Android, so you're investing money into a new ERP system. You're using one of the most advanced ERPs that's cloud-based, but yet when you go to look for a warehouse system, it's still on a Windows mobile computer. Looks like it's from the 1980s. So what we have done is brought over our technology that we've been using for coming up on 5 years now with the iOS and Android in the warehouse. So we've taken those years of experience, redesigned the application a little bit for the cloud-based ERPs and some of the changes that brings along and challenges, and we've come up with the solution that you're looking at now. So what we have is a touch-driven interface that's obviously very simple to use and is controlled through a device portal. And that device portal is going to give you the ability to go in, set up all of your users, set up all of your permissions based on what you want that user to do. So I'm going to take you through a little bit of that portal to give you an idea of what that looks like. And it is just like the rest of the solution, it is a web-based portal. And the portal is going to be set up for each user. You can have multiple users logging into that. And it's going to allow you to customize it to your process. So if you have certain people that are going to be receiving and certain people that are going to be shipping, and you don't want them to cross over those lines, you can definitely control that. And it looks like there are some difficulties here on my screen sharing, so we're just going to keep the air server up here showing my device. And if you want to get into that portal, we'll be able to show you that one-on-one. For some reason, it's not letting me show the piece that I need to. So we'll go ahead and jump into the handheld here. And the first place I'll start is going to be on the utilities. And the utilities is just a feature set that's going to have your item inquiry or locators by item and by bin. We will have the ability to set up aliases. So if you want a barcode and you have all of your item codes set up in Acumatica, but the items that are coming in have UPCs or a vendor's item code on those, as long as that's set up as an alias, you're going to be able to use those barcodes without having to completely relabel all of your inventory. And then we have two more troubleshooting pieces, the speed test and the barcode. So if you're having issues getting a barcode, you call into support. They may ask what symbology is that barcode or what does it actually scan. This is just a quick tool to tell you that information. So I'm going to go ahead and click on Locator by Item. And based on my login, it knows that I'm right now working in the wholesale warehouse, so I don't have to enter that information again. I just need to enter the item. And you have three ways to get the information in the system. You can use the on-screen keyboard to type that in. You can do a lookup, which will show you all of the items in that warehouse. And you can scroll through, you can sort or filter and it of course shows you the quantity available. Or the third way, of course, the whole reason of barcoding is to be able to scan the item. So as long as you're on that field, you can come in, scan an item, it'll show the description, all the bin locations that item is in, and then the quantity available, quantity pending, and then your quantity, total quantity. If it's in more than one bin location, it will let you scroll through those as well. So now I'm going to go ahead and jump up into the purchase order side to touch on this real quick, and then we'll get into the shipping. The purchase order allows us, of course, to receive an item. So before we ship an item, of course, we have to bring that into our warehouse against a purchase order, and the transactions here will allow you to create that receipt from the handheld to validate we're bringing in the right materials, collecting the proper lot or serial numbers if those are utilized, and creating that receipt inside of Acumatica. The physical count process is by far one of the largest time savings process, and this will reduce your physical count times by approximately 70 to 75%. And it does that not only by speeding up the data collection a little bit, but it completely eliminates the input back into Acumatica. So instead of printing out count sheets, filling those out, sitting those down at with a person on the desk and spending hours or days entering that back in, as soon as it's scanned on the handheld, it's back inside Acumatica and ready to be reviewed. So the process we're going to go through completely today will be the shipping side. And on the shipping, you have a few options. You can do a ship by order or by item. Most of our customers will be doing by order, so that's what I'll show today. And of course, the first piece of information it needs to know is my sales order. So what we're seeing a lot of customers do is add a barcode to the pick ticket. They're sending those out to the warehouse and scanning them. We can also just do a lookup, or we can type that in. In this case, I'll go ahead and scan a sales order. It shows my customer, the warehouse, and now I can start scanning items. I can also use this kind of as a paperless pick ticket. So if I go in and do a lookup on the items, it shows me everything on that sales order, as well as the quantity ordered, the quantity left to ship, and then it also displays the quantity available in my warehouse. So I'm going to go ahead and go to my first location, scan that item. It wants to know what bin I'm pulling that item from, so I can just scan the bin location I'm standing at and then type in the quantity. Now, we do have settings to allow or disallow over shipping. So if you want to allow that user to ship more than on the sales order, you do have that ability. We'll scan our next item, our location. And if you are using multiple units of measure inside of Acumatica, we do support that. So right now it is defaulting to what's on that sales order. But during your physical counts, transfers, any other transactions, you do have the ability to change that on the fly from the handheld. So if instead of scanning 144 cases, that might be equal to 1 pallet, you just change the unit of measure to a pallet, and you can tell it how many total pallets. So we'll go ahead and ship the 6 of this item. Now, we do have a review feature that you'll see at the top, and the review lets the user see what they've done up to that point. And when we go in, it defaults to by showing all. So if I come in, you'll see we have 2 records, so it's the 2 items that I have shipped. And I can scroll through those, and if a mistake is realized and I need to change that, I can just touch on action, and it's going to let me delete that item, delete the entire order, or I could delete a specific lot or a serial number. If I had a huge order, we'll say 50 plus line items, I could just scan an item into this field. It'll show me just those items that shipped. But in this case, I just want to hit send. And when I hit send, that sends the information back into Acumatica, and at that point, we'll create the shipment for this order. So from here, StarShip will take over, and we'll go ahead and pass that over to Caroline. And she'll show you how they handle the shipping from here.
Thanks, Cody. Okay. So once you've defined what you're going to ship using the handheld device from the Scanco solution, you'll be ready to ship that shipment. And in StarShip, you can scan the shipment number if you have that barcoded, or you can look it up like I just did. StarShip's going to go to Acumatica, pull in all the information, translate data, and get you ready to process the shipment. So here you'll see the shipment going to USA Bartending with those items that Cody had scanned in earlier. So all you really have to do at this point is do a ship and process. StarShip will print the barcoded shipping label. It can create email notifications that have customizations as far as content and links back to your site. It'll create the shipping labels, and then it'll also update Acumatica in real time. So this is an example of a combination packing list plus shipping label. You can also print to a thermal label printer. So if you wanted both of these to go to a thermal, you could do that. Or you could print them separately, the shipping label to a thermal and the packing list to a laser. And let me just go back into Acumatica to show you what got updated on that shipment. So here's the USA Bartending School shipment. Packages get updated with some reverse translation happening for the box ID, for weights and unit of measures. Here's the tracking number for this shipment, and then customer reference information is actually user definable in StarShip. You can tell StarShip what you want updated in these fields. StarShip will also update the ship via to the appropriate one if it was different from the originating ship via. It'll also update the freight cost with the negotiated rate that's coming from the carrier, and then the freight amount is the quoted freight. So if you wanted to use StarShip's freight rules, you could define custom settings for how this freight amount is calculated so that somebody in the front office doesn't have to manually do that. If you are interfacing or bringing in something like a Magento order and the freight is already calculated at the time the order is taken, you can do freight rules for those particular orders so that the freight amount does not get overwritten in that instance. But we can still update the freight cost for you so that you know what that is. StarShip will be communicating directly with the carrier service using your credentials or the customer's credentials. So you'll actually get their negotiated rate at the time of shipping. StarShip can also set the status to confirm to make it quicker for the invoicing process, as well as update the notes field with whatever user-defined information you'd like to see there. And once you've shipped the product, you will then want to use APS to charge it and get paid for it. So I'm going to pass it back to Patty so that she can go through APS again.
Thank you, Caroline. So once the shipment amount has been pre-filled by StarShip, and I apologize, I have different orders on the screen. I wasn't able to log into the virtual machine for StarShip right now, but it's the same concept. Once the amount has been entered by StarShip, you have the option to either pre-authorize the transaction or capture the funds right at the sales order level, as you can see here. So I'm at shipping, and this is where StarShip would drop off for me. And I'm going to go ahead and confirm my shipment. And go ahead and prepare an invoice now. So I bypassed the pre-authorization only because of demo purposes and for timing purposes. But just so you know, if anyone does prefer the pre-authorized transactions, you have the option to extend the pre-authorization length of time anywhere between 7 and 30 days. You will no longer be limited to a pre-authorization that is valid for only 7 days. So you can see I'm going to go ahead and go to the payments information, and it's giving me the option to do either or. Regardless of which transaction I decide to proceed with right now, the credit card information that I had pre-filled at the beginning under the customer will default to the sales order payment information tab. Given the security settings, the user will be able to edit, delete, or add credit cards on the fly. That's entirely an Acumatica function that we follow. In this case, I'm going to go ahead and say capture the credit card payment. And once I click on capture, I'm taking all of the information that was already preset with Acumatica, that Scanco scanned for us, that StarShip provided with the shipping information, and I'm actually compiling the information for level 3 data and submitting it to Visa and MasterCard, therefore guaranteeing the best rate available per transaction. Now that the transaction has been pre-authorized, I'd like to just briefly show you what the transaction will look like in the APS portal. Now, the reason I like to show the APS portal, not just to show you the transaction, but also to show you the flexibility that you have as far as processing transactions from within the portal. It is a very robust reporting system. There is an immense amount of sorting criteria. We make it almost impossible for you not to find any particular transaction. We also set you up to auto batch each night. If you batch out by 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we have 12-hour funding, which will deliver the funds in your bank account the next morning by 9 a.m. Eastern Standard. Now, this is the transaction that we just completed within Acumatica. Notice how we will give you a bird's eye view of the transaction. We will reference your Acumatica invoice number or sales order number, depending on what you're using. If it was a card authorization first and then capture, you will see this. Otherwise, you will just see it with a card capture. The transaction ID will also be populated into Acumatica, but just so you get an idea, you'll be able to see details regarding the transaction if you click on it here. And we will also go down to the very line level detail, listing as many as 20 items that belong to each invoice. So once again, level 3 processing is what is taking place right now. We're actually delivering the funds, the information to Visa and MasterCard. And this is where the information, sorry, I clicked on the wrong field. The information from Acumatica is actually being moved over to our portal. You can also see that you have the availability to avoid a credit card transaction. Of course, basic accounting rules will have to follow. You can also refund a credit card payment. Now, before I hand it back over to Adrian, I do want to just cover the last items that we were asked about while at the Acumatica Summit. Many of the challenges that most of you are encountering have to do with the fact that you're not able to understand your statements. What we'd like to do is actually walk you through your statement, explain where the fees are coming from, who's making the money where, and offer you a free analysis of your current rates and fees. When we do offer you the free analysis, we guarantee to beat or match any competitor, or we will pay you $500 simply for letting us see your statement. We guarantee our rates in writing, so you won't have to worry about the rates creeping up on you 3 months down the line. We also offer free PCI support. As I mentioned in the beginning, we have a team that is dedicated exclusively to making sure all of our merchants either become PCI compliant or remain PCI compliant. Level 3 processing is available to you at no additional fee. We make sure that you get the very lowest rates possible, and we show you where you can confirm the rates are coming from Visa and MasterCard so that you can keep any processor on their toes. I also mentioned the fact that we do not charge for installation, setup, training, maintenance, or support. However, we do provide assistance with any updates to the software and setting anything up. We offer very simple gateway fees. It's a basic $15 a month regardless of your volume. And I also mentioned the 12-hour funding. We have a 24/7 on-site support team available 365 days a year. For support, we do not have an automated system on purpose. We want to make sure that if anybody calls our support team, they get a live human being on the other side of the line. The online management and reporting is very flexible. I showed you a quick peek. Our project managers typically will go through a brief analysis, a brief system process review of your existing credit card processing procedures. They will try to mimic them onto our system and also show you the different reporting options that are available to you. We have a very streamlined installation process. It takes no more than 30 minutes for the actual install, There is no downtime required. Training and setup, of course, at no charge, and we can take as long as you'd like with that. American Express Opt Blue is also available, fully integrated with Acumatica, guaranteeing the best rates from American Express. We offer the ability to process internationally. Currently, we process in Canada and the U.S. There's a migration available for those of you that are running with other processors. We simply have to verify which processor it is, and we can avoid you having to key in all of your credit card information again into Acumatica. We also offer a multitude of equipment options at no charge to you. Yes, I'm underlining no charge. And we help with cancellation fees. We simply ask that you send us a copy of the cancellation fees being deducted from your bank account, and we will gladly refund those cancellation fees. So all of this information, we were being asked at the Acumatica Summit. I thought I would bring it up now and make sure that everybody's aware. And now, if you weren't paying too much close attention, please pay attention at this very moment. American Payment Solutions is able to save you money by processing through level 3. We guarantee to beat or match any competitor. But not only that, we would like to offer everyone that is attending this webinar assistance with paying for any of the solutions that are being presented today, the Scanco solution or the StarShip solution. If you're interested, simply let us see your statements, analyze them, figure out how much we can save you, and we will be more than happy to provide you with that savings ahead of time so that you can pay for these solutions. So if you're interested, these are very worth your while. If anybody is a prospect to Acumatica, we would love to help you purchase Acumatica. Needless to say, this is a very strong, a very powerful solution. As you can see, it's becoming more and more on demand by the different channels and the different partners. So I just wanted to make sure everybody's aware. We're happy to help you obtain Acumatica as your ERP, as well as Scanco and StarShip as far as your new solutions. Adrian, would you like me to hand it back over to you? Was there anyone else that wanted to cover anything else?
That would be great. I'm going to just go ahead and recap what we just spoke about. And thank you so much, Patty and Cody and Caroline, for sharing your solutions with us, your integrated solutions with Acumatica. So the order comes in to Acumatica. It gets credit card processed at that time if it's a web store or customer service person taking the order. If the workflow is such that the customer wants to be charged at the time of the order, then it's processed through Patty's solution, American Payment Solutions. So you get the lowest rate through the level 3 processing that Patty just shared with us. And then it's picked and packed in the warehouse with Cody's solution, iOS, Windows, or Android with their handheld devices. So it goes through the pick and pack process automatically and with the remote devices in the warehouse. And then all that information goes back into Acumatica, and based on all the rules of the shipment, cost associated, location of the customer that placed the order, the ideal carrier is selected via StarShip to automate the shipping process, and all the information that StarShip uses to fulfill that order is now populated back into Acumatica. So the customer, if they're on a web store with Acumatica e-commerce platform, can look at that information, tracking numbers for self-service on the internet, or a customer service person using Acumatica can see what the tracking numbers are to automatically send information to the customer. StarShip can also automatically send the tracking numbers once the order is updated in Acumatica. And then if the workflow is as such that the credit card is charged at the end because accounts receivable has been updated in Acumatica, then now the order is credit card processed with level 3 processing so that you get the lowest rate for that order, and then the order is shipped out. And so with that, I'm going to go ahead and share everybody's contact information. We have quite a few questions here. Thank you, everybody, for your interest in all this engagement. We love your questions. And I'm going to go ahead and start off with a question from Jonathan. Jonathan, thank you so much. Yes, we are recording this webinar, and we will make that recording available after the webinar by way of an email automatically sent to everyone who registered and attended. And it looks like BJ has a question for Cody. Does Scanco integrate with JAMS manufacturing? Cody, can you explain that integration?
Yes, absolutely. And that is an excellent question, BJ. We do integrate into JAMS. So we do have our XScan product that covers all of our manufacturing, and that's going to automate the main transactions inside of JAMS. So your status updates, labor tracking, production entry, as well as the completions.
And if I could interject just a second for anybody that does on the phone that doesn't know what JAMS is. JAMS is the JOS Advanced Manufacturing Solution for Acumatica. And so just like APS Scanco and StarShip, they're an ISV with Acumatica, have a fabulous solution. And I have to thank all three, APS, Scanco, StarShip. Thank you so much for being not only a fabulous ISV partner and contributing so much to the functionality and, as everybody can see, a real true end-to-end solution, but thanks for the sponsorship at the summit and for all the great work you do. So thought I'd interject that at that point.
That's awesome, Doug. Thank you so much. And then we have another question from BJ. Is Scanco communicating live through web services, or is there a sync engine running periodically?
So we are communicating real-time into Acumatica, but we do offer an offline mode. So the handheld will drop into an offline mode. At that point, it has limited information synced over, not the entire database, so it does operate in both real-time and offline modes.
And just, if I may note for everybody, we do have a poll up, and if you can take just a second to answer this poll, that would be great. And we have confirming, okay, so BJ would also like to confirm that StarShip communicates via web services both up and down in real time. Caroline?
Yep, StarShip uses the screen APIs to capture all the data in real time.
And is StarShip using the Acumatica web services to access and write to Acumatica?
Right now, the integration that we have is using the screen API technology to access and write back data.
And we have a question for American Payments. When creating a new card record, does the customer info get defaulted into their pop-up screen?
Yes. So you would have the customer information already set up in Acumatica. And yes, the only thing you would have to add is the billing information for the credit card. So the card number itself, the billing information for the credit card, and of course the expiration date and whenever needed, the CVV code.
And is APS only for commercial B2B or
we actually serve
B2C?
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
We service
level 3 or B2C is what the rest of it is.
Level 3 is available only for business-to-business or business-to-government transactions that are processed with companies within the continental U.S. American Payment Solutions is a provider for all business-to-consumer or business-to-business transactions. It's just that Level 3 can be taken advantage by B2B or business-to-government.
And this one's for you, Caroline. StarShip, when updating the notes in the header, are you appending or overwriting?
Believe StarShip is overriding on the notes.
And then, so all of these solutions integrate together. You've worked together in the past.
Absolutely.
Yes, we've been working
definitely.
with StarShip and APS for quite a while now.
So perfect. Well, that does it for the questions. I just want to remind the audience, if you do have a last minute question here, we invite you. We love your questions. We invite you to click on that question mark button next to your name on the webinar pane, and we will announce your questions for all of our panelists. And if you have no other questions, we have 46% of you who have voted. So if you could take a second, those of you who haven't voted yet, we would love to hear from you, which solutions you might be interested in.
And I'll have to say, Patty, thanks also for that offer. I know many times people that are switching their credit card processing to APS, they do get some outstanding cost savings, and to be able to do that and apply it toward a purchase of, let's say, StarShip or Scanco, I think that's a wonderful way to justify a true complete solution. So thank you for offering that as well.
My pleasure, Dawn. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And with 69% of you voted, I'm going to go ahead and close out this poll. I'm going to share the results. And it looks like 22% of you are interested in the Acumatica Partner Program. Yay. 44% are interested in American Payment Solutions. 58% Scanco, 33% StarShip. And I'm going to hide those results and then just flash up the contact information one more time here. And we will be sending all of this to you after the webinar, so don't feel like you have to write everything down here. And then I also wanted to let you know that our next webinar, integration with Acumatica, will be showcasing UpLevel, which is an accounts payable processing solution for Acumatica. We hope that you're able to attend this. It is listed on the ERP VAR events section of our website. So if you want to go ahead and visit this, we will also be inviting you via email since you came to this one. So hopefully you'll be able to join us on Thursday, March 9th. And thank you so much for taking time out of your busy day. We know an hour of your time is hard to come by. It looks like we have 17 minutes to spare. So thanks again. And Dawn, Patty, Caroline, Cody, did you have any closing remarks that you'd like to share?
Well, I just wanted to, again, thank all of our ISV participants, and the fact that you all work together so delightfully and really serve to extend our functionality and make it such a great solution for people that need this combined solution. And thank you for going to the time and effort and showing how all of these solutions work together so seamlessly. It's a beautiful thing. I know not everybody can offer that, and especially in this web-based world, it's important to, as the questions indicated, make sure that everything's working properly together. So really thank you all. Thanks for being ISV partners, and we'll look forward to the next one together.
All right.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, everybody. Take care. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.